Last month, in the May of 2019, the members created a challenge. That is the portrait of someone is very significant or the things that are very significant to you. I'm going to look into those submission paintings and drawings, and I'm going to give you my feedback. Let's take a look over here. Nikki did a great job how to turn the general shape to be a more specific, smaller shape. Always start from the bigger shape. You have the big value area looks really good. Like I say, this as one value for the hair is different from the value and the overall value of the face. The face is a little bit lighter. And this, the catch two shadows as one form, looks really good. But what you're going to do from here to move on to make it even more, a little bit more in depth. Now I'm going to use this to talk about how you're going to move on to the next step. The first thing we need to do a little correction. Looking at the face over here, it's coming over here. It should be coming in a little bit more. Okay, so it's come in and gradually like this. This is good. Right. Let's do that a little correction. This is really good. Now let's take a look at on the face first. And the top over here have some a little bit more reflected lights. So they're gonna start thinking about the reflected light. And the reflected light by having a little light color and over here like that. It's not too strong. So I'm gonna have a little bit softer like this. That's showing the reflected light. Also, it helps to correct the shape and the form of the forehead. You see that? This a little bit because the light coming from the other directions and respond to this edge. Now the reflected light would help. Look at the angle of this. It actually coming down like this angle. Looking for the angle of this line, right? Coming down like this. That's good. Like that, it help. And inside over here, I'm gonna lessen a little bit. This a little bit probably too strong. I can make that a little smoother, like that. It's good. Now this is good. This shape is good. And the top over here, now seeing the eyes a little bit more curved. How we can do that? And we also can pick this color again. I'm gonna have this connecting into the top over here. And now we can make a little smaller changes to create a little bit more detail, like that. Now you can see in the top over there. And this color looks good. We can keep it like that. But inside over here, you do see a little bit changes from this color turn into a little bit darker and then to a little bit lighter. So you can pick the color a little bit darker and in this area just turn it over. So after you have the big connections separated and then going into do the fine tuning is become very easy. So let's over here take a look at this area a little bit too strong now. So we're gonna have a little bit lighter color. So let's take a look like that. Make that a little bit lighter. All right. A little bit softer. So also compare this color to the darkest value. It's not so dark. Okay, make it a little bit like that. And also the eyebrows maybe a little bit lower. So I'm gonna move that color a little bit lower like this. It looks good. So it's a gradually fine tuning and getting in. And inside the eye over here, and we're gonna pick this a little bit light color. You can see there's a little light color here. It's not dark color. So coming in over here and coming through like that. And over here, see a little triangle like this. A little triangle over here coming out like that. And I'm gonna have the dark color. I have some really dark color and coming in. Look at that line coming this direction like this. So this is very easy modification, as you maybe get to this point and feeling kind of like emotionally not want to move forward because you're feeling a little bit, you fight for the big connections already enough, and then you're feeling kind of like a little tired in your mind. So moving from, first I have to say, this is exactly should everyone do when you're doing a portrait drawing. So it's always focusing on the bigger connection, the bigger shape. What I'm trying to say now is how to move on from here to the next step. Okay. So this is good. Let's looking into this area, right? This area definitely have a little bit darker color. And to separate that over here, see that there's a little smaller shape inside the big shape. Let's get a little bit darker color. And that's good. Now over here, you see, this is create the illusions of the mouth over here and coming here, in here, and then come up. That's the transition and changes. So we need to have this color, a little bit darker color, as showing in here. And the side of the nose may be a little bit too light, so we can tone it down a little bit, like this. And now we're looking for this area. I want it to be a little bit more consistent, very much the same color in this area. So I'm gonna pick this color, maybe a little bit darker, right? So I'm gonna pick this color, make that a little bit more consistent, like that. But outside over here, and I'm gonna have this color coming in and make that a little bit slow transition. That's good, like that. And take a look at over here, there's another shape, a little bit lighter. So you can use the nitty eraser to make it a little bit lighter over here, coming up like this. So now, it was one simple shape. Now to make it a little bit more rich now, like this. Now take a look at the mouth over here. It looks really good. The dark color at the corner, we need to have that dark color right over here. And the angle of that corner is not coming up too much. It's coming over to this side. Looks like she is not just smiling. She's have something to say. Okay, like that. That's a little bit better. And a little bit darker tone, darker line, and underneath like this. Right, and make it a little bit darker line underneath over here, showing the angle of this side in this way. Okay, and use the nitty eraser to have this a little bit lighter and showing the glassiness of the lower lip over here, like that. This is very easy from here. Okay, just use a charcoal pencil, which is a little bit sharper, and the nitty eraser, so you can create a little bit more interesting details. Over here, you can use that's showing that a little bit smaller shape coming out over here, and also we can do that by having eraser erase this part. Okay, that showing a little bit open a little bit more like this. Okay, coming up like this. Okay, and the top of the nose like that, and this coming in a little bit too much, and erase that. And this is, again, this is much smoother transition. You make it like this, seems like it's coming over here, the face over here, and then boop, and coming in a little bit too quick. And in fact, looking at her face, the muscles coming very smooth from here up and then move over like that. Very smooth. So if you do it like this, it's not really getting the likeness that well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have this color, make it this lighter, so you can use the eraser to actually have this a little bit soft transition coming up like this. Okay, that is also in here. What I want to do, I'm going to use the blender to blend it a little bit and make a little smoother transition like that, to conveying that actually her face is a little bit slowly, not too sudden. Okay, and also over here can coming down like this. Now on this side it should be the angle on this side, the triangle, it should be a little bit straight on this direction. Okay, and now the low over here, I need to make it a little lighter like that. Looks good. Now let's pick a little lighter color, which is in the reality of your drawing, you want to use a little bit more of the nitty eraser. Just thinking about this line, there is actually a line, a straight line from here coming through. You see that? The straight line coming through over here. Okay, so this is actually a little bit lighter shape. Okay, that is a straight line like this. Yeah, that's just good. Make it a little bit softer. Okay, now that is a straight line. You want to capture that. And over here also the same light value over here too. And coming down like this. So just use your nitty eraser. If you use the tone paper, now is a good time because now it's just the paper colors. I don't really like much about what you have been doing. Use the white charcoal on top of the charcoal. I always like to erase the dark charcoal before you put the white charcoal on the paper, directly to the paper, and because it looks really unclean. But this is not one way to do drawing or use the materials, but this is my personal habit. I would like to clean it first because when you are going to be lighter, you first clean up the dark color first. So no need to put the white on top of the black. And this looks a little bit kind of mixed up. Okay, the bottom over here, looking at the catch the shadow over here. The catch the shadow, the shape need to come in a little bit over here. So let's that come in a little bit because you know the neck is turning like this way. Okay, let me draw it for you. The neck turning this way, like that. Okay, so it's not too sudden like this. So you're seeing this actually the curve coming over. So the catch the shadow actually help that. So let's coming into the underneath the chin is always a little bit darker. Catch the shadow because that's also the turning point between the light to the shadow side of the neck. So that's usually darker. Okay, like this. Now we're looking for that on this it actually can come in a little bit, even come in a little bit more, like over there. Okay, like this. And the neck now, we still need to see the neck. So the neck actually from here coming down like this. You see a lot of suggestions. It's very important. Now looking at this shadow, and you have the whole shape over here. This is great. Now we're going to divide this shape, have a lighter area over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a little lighter area, which is in the reality of the drawing, the traditional material. The nitty eraser would be used over here. Because this is a little bit lighter. Okay, like this. Just showing the catch the shadow and have been reflected on this side being a little bit lighter. Now let's take a look at the hair. Okay, the eye, I'm sure that you can do a very good job over here. That is supposed to be eraser to help to create the separation of the double eyelid. So you're gonna pick a little darker value over here and even darker than this. And you can separate this So you are doing great. Okay, that's just, it's supposed to be the way the process doing. Compared to some members, they are like to jump into the details without spending enough time on the bigger shape. And you develop the bigger shape really great. So like the eye over here, you did what you did, that was great. And now when you come in here, just use a little eraser, separate it. And that is the next step. Not doing that at the beginning. Do that at this point. That is the correct way to do. Okay, let's talk about the hair. Now the hair, a darker color, is make it very dark over here, make the darker shape, and I'm going to have this to be darker. Why we're going to do that? And because I want to see the hair is not flat. The hair also turning this way. Let's spend a little bit more time over here so other members also benefit from this review. Okay, like that. Now you can see the shape change because making the darker value. So separate this to be a plain flat surface. So this also needs to be a bit darker too, like that. And this side is almost like a very, very curved ball. And this side a little bit darker, like that. And on this side, also need to be a little bit darker, like this. Okay, I'm not sure it should be very, very dark. I think I like this value a little bit more. But what I want to lessen the contrast on this side. This side of the hair is closer to us. This side is a little farther away. And I also want to create that transition. I want to have this a little bit softer transition. So I don't need to have this become so hard. This should be a little bit softer. So you can use the blender or can use the eraser to make it a little bit softer, like that. Blend it over. That's good. Now when they add a little light color, okay, so I'm going to pick this color and see over here, I'm going to have that, use the eraser at this point and coming up like this. Okay, over here and have a little light color on this side. The hair separation actually here is not going that direction. I like that turning this way a little bit better, like this. And add a little highlight. Nice, a little highlight over here, and showing the smooth, glassy feelings of the hair. Okay, like that, and showing that a little reflected on this side. This should be a little lighter. So use the eraser. That is good. Okay. I know you have a iPad, so if you want to start using an iPad, do some preliminary drawing exercise, and also maybe expand your material list. Okay, we consider the iPad is a tool of materials. It's doing this, could be doing the same thing as what we are doing with charcoal and graphite pencil. How we this line a little bit in the wrong angle, so we can do that. Maybe this come up a little bit like this, change the angle of that, and I'm gonna pick the middle tone and coming this way like this. Okay, like that looks good. Right? If you can have next time when you do the composition, make the face a little smaller, and that would help to actually have this this little flower and have it is a little bit more proper position. Okay, so this review, and what my suggestions would be is based on where you get to the point that have the bigger contrast, bigger areas already established. all the big areas is already there. You're blocking out the shape. This is good. So this is how you are looking into a smaller area and then enjoy it to develop those details.